Hey, Hebrew fans, hold on a second. Let me plug in my microphone really quick. There we go. Oh, it's not giving me the green light. There we go. Got the green light. Hopefully it sounds better. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Happy Mother's Day for those who are mothers or for those who know a mother. Hopefully most of you guys know a mother of some sort. So I decided to do a special on the mothers from the He-Man and She-Ra world, Eternia and Etheria. So, oh, let me turn this down. All right, so make sure my microphone's set right this time, because last time I had it set wrong and the sound sounded horrible, I found out. Let's see, Jeff says I was disappointed with Glimmer the most. Oh, yeah, Queen Angelina is a really cool figure. Let's just start with her since you mentioned right off the bat. Now, I was tempted to bring out Queen Grayskull, but I decided not to because we don't know who her offspring is, so I didn't bring her out. But this is a really cool figure, and it uses the wings that we saw from the DC line, Hawkman. Oh, I should grab Hawkman so I can compare and show. Okay, hold on. Let's grab Hawkman so we can see. Look at that cool wingspan. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. I always liked when they'd mix some of the stuff from DC. And there we go. The Man of the Hawk. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, and you can see there the wings are the same wings. So cool. Wow, they're really flimsy on him. Ugh. Anyway, there's Hawkman. But of course, this is not about Hawkman. It is about the mothers of Eternia and Etheria. So let's put them back away. Just wanted to show the wings. And there was a few things used between DC and He-Man figures, like the wings, obviously, of Hawkman and the little bird we've seen used a couple times for the Wonder Twins and for other figures. So, there we go. Now I'm more comfortable. All right, and oof, she had a small little halo you could put on there too. I don't have the halo on her though. So there she is. Very cool figure. Cool color scheme with the pink and the blue. And of course she has a really cool sword. I don't know if it's the sword she came with or not. I'm hoping it is because it just looks very cool. I used a sword just like it one time for Wonder Woman. I just really like the way that it sits. And she is the mother of Glimmer, for those that didn't know. So there is Queen Angela, and she is the mother of Glimmer. So happy Mother's Day to her. She's got her little pink shield and her cool sword from the movie Troy. All right. So next up is the Sorceress. Now the Sorceress, of course, is the mother of Teela, as we saw just yesterday in the books. Happy Father's Day. Not yet, man. Oh, Glimmer's really shorter than her mother, and they gave her those granny pants. The granny pants are awful. Yes. And of course, we got two versions of this. We have the Tower of Darkness, which I've always especially liked because everyone called it the Todd figure because it's a Tower of Darkness, Todd. So there you go. And and she came with an orb stand. Not the orb, though. The orb you had to get from King Grayskull. So there you go. And she was sporting the same old giant drums on her back. But the wings are clear, which is kind of cool. And it's supposed to be kind of a takeoff from the Tower of Darkness comic book where she was white in there. But Slample used her also for the movie version as well. And the way these drums work is you raise the arm, the wings open right up. The concept is cool, but the drums became so thick and so big, it was kind of strange. But from straight on or straight from behind, it's really cool the way the wings open are flexible. It's just the way they made the drums so huge sticking out her back. It's kind of strange. But anyway, I will put her back on her stand with her orb stand. And there she is. Dun, dun, dun. That zoom was so much fun. All right. Oh, she fell over. And again, you can see the giant drum action. Now, the bad part about these giant drum arms is it really limits her mobility. Because first of all, if you try to lift her arms like she's going to hand somebody something, as soon as you lift that arm forward, she now has this giant tray coming out which really did not work too well for trying to hand like He-Man or somebody else's sword. So she'd have to just bend at the elbow in order to hand somebody something. So that articulation didn't work, but the other articulation worked really cool. Now I saw someone online one time design a wing set that was similar to this, and they actually had it attached to the back of the tricep for the wing to articulate. But it is kind of clever. I have to admit that the designers of this probably spent a long time trying to design to make it work the best. And perfect, no, but works, yeah. I kind of wish they gave us a second option. Now, eventually we did get the Filmation one. Oh, I should have pulled that one out of the box. Okay. Hold up, everybody. It's time to grab the Filmation one out. I'm digging into my Filmation box now. Don't see her large wing. Oh, there it is. I found it. All right, so here's the Filmation one. And it looks very similar. When you raise her arms... oh, her wings are attached to her forearm. I didn't realize that. So you can separate them out. You know what? If they have holes there already, they should have just made this out of cloth and made it so when you raised it up, it would work. Just like they did with all the Super 7 stuff. We're giving us an optional cloth one. I've never actually even opened this wing yet. So let's go ahead and open this and stick it on her back. Wow, her head's a little bit on the flimsy side, and fit. And then you just slide her arms in there. Oh, yes, I remember now. I had another one at one time, and her arms do not fit both on there on top. You have to actually rotate the arm over and then rotate the forearm around, and then you can fit it on there. Because her arms couldn't go high enough because it hits the top point. So you have to actually... Let me try something else, because that just seems kind of cattywampus. Let's try just to bend her elbow. Nope, because... Okay. Whoop. See, that's as high as her shoulder goes on this side. That's it. This side actually goes higher. That's weird. It's actually kind of loose, too, so I must have forced it at one time to see how high it could go. But you can see her arms are at an angle there, where this one goes higher on this side and this one doesn't go quite as high. So yeah, you have to do the old flip, and then you can raise it up higher so she can do her wings out. Now I did ask my future daughter-in-law to make me a cloth one. She's just so busy with her son and family. She hasn't had time to make you one yet. So I'm going to have to find someone to make me a cool cloth one. There we go. This light is dying. I haven't charged my lights in a while. Let me find a bright one. There we go. There's a nice bright one. So this one does allow you to, of course, put her arm out straight. But if you're going to do that, you're going to want to have the small wings on there, which I don't understand why the small wings have the tabs on. That makes no sense to have her arms trapped to the small one, especially the forearms way down there, unless it was going to be flexible and actually move with her. Now I got her arm all twisted up. Dun, da, da. Anyway, I will set her aside. Let's get back to our task at hand. There we go. All right. So, the next mother of Eternia, of course, is Prince Adam's mom, the Queen. The Queen. Now, this Queen actually gave gold boots too, just like She-Ra. In fact, let me see if I give her She-Ra's whole body. I did, I think. Yep, she's actually sporting She-Ra's bottom half, as you can see there. I shouldn't look at the queen's butt like that, because I reused this piece right here to replace for the green goddess that had a broken hip. And so I ended up replacing that. Gave her She-Ra's lower half and her half to the green goddess. And I like the gold boots. I have extra black boots I could have given her, or the boots that were on her originally when I swapped it out. But I thought, what the heck. She's the queen. She should get gold boots. So she has the fancy gold boots. Now, she also came packed out in her astronaut suit. Right here. Captain Glenn. And Captain Glenn had a really cool... Actually, you know what? I don't think this was her gun. This gun actually belonged to the Sports Bra Tila. Or Battleground Tila. But it looks so space-agey. I actually gave it to her. You can see it says Glenn in the corner up there. And she has a rifle from the Troopers from the movie. From the 1987 movie. And then she has a cool space helmet. Now, in the Rainbow Warrior cartoon, her space suit was not green like this. And so it kind of stinks that it's the wrong color, but that's okay. But it's kind of twofold. Because one, for the space suit, you got to have these arm pieces. But for the queen, you actually want the ones with the bumps on it, like I was telling you guys before. So it's kind of a bummer that neither one is correct. And they're both wrong. Because this one has the wrong cuffs. And this one is the wrong color. But I guess it makes sense because they didn't want to release two figures. So they released a separate pack. And basically, the top tunic comes off, and then you put the dress on in its place, and then you do a head swap on her, and that turns her into Queen Marlena. She also came with a Cringer as well, so she was quite the pack-in, considering she had two outfits, and she had a Cringer as well, and then she had the cool gun. Now, I went and bought a ton of these just for the guns, and I gave a whole bunch of guns to my Horde troopers, not realizing that this is made for the female hand, and the female hand is shorter than the male hand, so it does not fit in the trooper's hand because this is in the way. And I was like, man, I had all these guns all ready to go for my Horde troopers when I got them, not knowing that when they came out, their hands would be too big to fit inside that small little handle there. So I, of course, made some awesome Captain Glenn figures. Let's take a look. Those tabs were a pain to get back in. Yes, the tabs are a pain. As you saw, I kind of fiddled it for a while to get it back in. Even this top one didn't go back in right. You can see it missed when I quickly showed you that. But yeah, they are a pain. And now what's cool about Captain Glenn is she doesn't have the granny panties. They actually rolled it under like they were supposed to. And so I've actually saved some of her bottom half of her clothes when I've made customs to eventually replace for Adora and other ones that have the granny panties. I don't know why they couldn't do the same setup for this as they did with Adora. That would have worked way better. Adora. All right, so this is my Captain Glenn ready for action. Action Captain Glenn. And she's got the gun on the side for her holster. She has the gun here. I painted these green because these were not her arms originally. And I think her upper half of her body is probably She-Ra's body. Probably the other half of that figure. Oh, did I glue it together? I may have glued it together. Nope, yep, you can see right up in there where it splits. The top half of her body is probably She-Ra's. She-Ra. The other half of the figure that I used for the other Captain Glenn. So really, I made this just using one Captain Glenn figure. The bottom half is She-Ra's on the Queen, and the top half is on the Captain Glenn figure. So it's kind of a little bit of a cheat to get two figures out of one. Oh, you're right. What a pain to get these back together. Fit. There we go. Now, I have made numerous Captain Glenn figures in the past, and I actually one time made a Captain Powers figure, which was Evil-Lyn, and I actually made a little decal that said Powers on it, because one of the storylines is that Evil-Lyn was also one of the astronauts that came to Earth. And so I also made a Captain Powers one for Evil-Lyn powers that became Evil-Lyn in the future, or later on after she crashed, because she landed on the dark side and Captain Glenn landed on the light side of the planet. So here's another one of my Captain Glenn figures that I made. This one I hear has the arm cuffs going down, so it's just more of a short sleeve instead of a tank top look. And I gave her these armbands right here that are from Marlena? No, not Marlena. What is Marla? Marla? Yeah. I've got one down there somewhere. Oh well. And she's from the New Adventures series. Now, normally she has one cuff like this, and the other side is spiked. And so, where did I stick that? I had one to show you somewhere. See, here's the helmet right here. Ooh, and so basically you pull this off, you put this over her, and stick the head on, and then put this back on. And that's how you... Now, I've actually took one of these helmets and stuck it also on Flip Shot, which was a really cool idea, because then Flip Shot can have a space helmet too to kind of match. And it kind of gives it that cool futuristic 60s vibe, like the futuristic movies they made in the 60s. Man, I can't believe I set that figure down somewhere. Let me look behind me, see what's at. You guys can look at these cool figures while I look for the one that I set down somewhere. There she is. That's funny. I got so many Marlena pieces, it's not even funny. I got arms and legs and pieces. See, here's another Marlena figure I was working on. I decided to give her high heels at one time. I used Elizabeth's legs, thinking that'd be kind of cool for a queen to have these cool white high heel shoes. But I ended up not finishing her. I guess I could just throw her head on her. I have a head right over here. I could just finish this custom right now. Ta-da! Custom's done. And so again, I think it was at the knees is where I split it. Yep, so at the knees I put Elizabeth's legs on there. The wrestling figure. And that gave her the high heels then. Which I think was because it's hard to make her stand all the time or something. Nope, she does stand pretty good. Oh well. So because I used two of these on the same arm, I ended up with a double cuff on the figure left over, which is kind of cool because you could use this to make a cool custom of like the Street Fighter Chun-Li, is that her name? Where she's got the big old spiky cuffs on both sides. Randor is his first name. Did you have to break She-Ra and Marlena's torso to swap their legs? Actually, the torsos come apart right in the middle. And if you heat it with water, you actually pull the torso apart right at that spot where the joint is. And so that's why I just pulled it apart. I got it full of hot water. She-Ra, Teela, Queen Marlena, and Evil-Lyn all break apart in that spot. So it's right under their skirt right here where it turns, that rubbery piece. You can kind of see it right there. Is a ball jointed piece right there. And if you heat it up, you can pop the whole thing off. That's how I added the skirt to her, is I popped it off, put the skirt on, and put it back together. So anyway, let's continue on with more Moms of Eternia. Let me set this generation aside and we'll go to the next generation of moms. The next generation? What is he talking about? So let's look at your comments first before we jump to the next. See, here's some legs right here. And these legs used to belong, or this top part, you can see here's the ball joint I was talking about. This top part used to belong to the Green Goddess, and you can see where it's been shattered. And basically I just used this and replaced it with Marlena's. So you can see it's got the light green here, because that was this was the Green Goddess piece here that everybody knows the legs shatter. And after it was shattered, I just filled it full of tons of super glue to keep it together and glued it back together. And being it's going to be under the dress, no one's going to see it anyway. Because once you add the dress to this, nobody's going to be the wiser that you swapped out that, you know, center leg piece. Or the center hip joint, it's going to look just fine. So that's why I did a lot of swapping, fixed a lot of green goddesses. A lot of them I sold. I think I have one left that has not been fixed, which I purposely kept the way it was, and I have one or two that are left that are fixed. Oh, you guys get the idea. But you can see, you would never know that that is somebody else's piece in there. All right. So, next generation, we have Tila as a sorceress. And she ends up becoming the mom of Hero. So that's why I have her in here. And then the next one is Evil-Lyn. And Evil-Lyn ends up becoming the mom of Skeleton. So I decided to use the 2000X Evil-Lyn because that makes the most sense, because that's kind of the older version of her. And this Evil-Lyn is my favorite. I think she came out so cool. Now, when I made this Evil-Lyn, I took and cut out this piece right here and stuck it there from the 2000X, and the purple matched just right. And then, of course, the knee pads, it takes two of them to make it, because one's short and one's long with the Evil-Lyn figure you take it from. And then, of course, this is actually... No, that one's not Hordax. I thought I grabbed Hordax that I changed out. And then I just took Beastman's wrist piece and thought it'd be kind of funny to paint it black and stick it on her. And then this is actually a gun holster. I wrapped around her leg twice, put a rubber band on it for her knife sheath. And then this is from the 2000X Evil-Lyn. And again, I just took it off the 2000X Evil-Lyn, popped her open, stuck it back on there, popped her back closed. And then the back piece is also from the 2000X Evil-Lyn. And I basically just cut it to fit, shoved it under her collar, and then glued it in place so she can have the cool back piece too. So a lot of changes to this Evil-Lyn. And I just love the way she came out. She's one of my favorite customs. Evil-Lyn is a nasty mother. I don't know if she's a nasty mother or not, because she did save her son by transferring to the future with the help of, oh, what is that guy's name? The Mighty Spector. Okay, I'm going to grab my 2000X Evil-Lyn figure. Their last name is Windsor. All right, Skeletor, get out of the way. All right, I'm getting my 2000X figures out. You guys can see my messy boxes. These ones are not very organized. Oh, look at this. There's the cool sorceress. Dun, dun, dun. I wish they would have made her in classics. That'd have been the coolest thing ever. All right, Evil-Lyn, there you are. So let me show you what I mean here. So you can see on her legs right here, she has these pieces that are actually just glued on. And so I just ripped those off. But because this boot has the computer chip in it to work with the castle, or supposed to, and it's made based off of Tila, and she did, this one's shorter. It ends at the top of the boot, where this one goes all the way down to the ankle. So when you make them, you can't have two different heights one on here. So it took two Evil-Lyns to get it to go all the way down. So I used two of the left leg ones for her kneecaps. And then here's the little piece in the center that I cut out. And then put it right on there. And then there's the back piece that I took off. And just stuck it on there. And then, of course, the cape itself, I had to snap an Evil-Lyn in half. And then I stretched it on while she was pulled apart. And the cape is like the coolest thing to add to her. I mean, it's just 2000X's it right out by adding that right underneath her her cloth right there. And then she didn't have a sheath for her belt or for her knife, but I thought that was a cool add. And she can just grab that right there. She's ready to go. Ha! So, And I did try different chokers at one time. I tried this one here, and when I did, it just snapped, even trying to heat it up and stretch it. And then I ended up using the snapped one, but adding heat shrink on the back. It just looked worse and worse. And then one time I used an O-ring. It looked bad. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to use the bracelet from Beastman. And that was that. So there you go. Oh, look how cool this is. Now this figure I did articulate myself. Just the arms. I just used a magnet right in the middle. And then my wife had some pins that had these little knobs that I put on there, which are maybe part of the clips to hold it on. And it just fit just right for those magnets to fit in there. Now, nothing else is articulated, no legs and not her wings or anything, but now she can at least hand somebody something, you know. But I really wish they would have made this figure in the classics. All right, let's take a look at your guys' questions. You make great custom figures, Todd. I never could do that. Haha. Actually, it's not that hard to do. There wasn't any actual skill involved. It was just stealing parts from this figure to put on that figure. That was basically it. A lot of scissors, a lot of cutting, a lot of ripping, and no painting involved except for the choker, which I did a bad job painting as I did it a long time ago. Next Friday the 13th week is Jason's day. Weird. My Mother's Day was pretty good. 3 of my kids came over today. They brought their kids and stuff, so we got to have the grandkids over. One of my kids didn't come. I was kind of surprised, but you know, that happens. My wife had a pretty good time, and we had pie and kids running around, and it was all a good time. All right, so that's all I have for the Mothers of Eternia. Did I miss any? Are there any other mothers that you guys can think of? I forgot this was one of the high heels. I wonder how much taller it makes her. Let's take a look here. Doesn't really add that much height because her boots are high heels already. Just a tad little bit. This is my favorite Captain Glenn figure. I think this is so cool. Now, I probably will be selling this one in the future, but not right away. I'm working on a Captain Glenn spaceship, and I'll probably sell her and the spaceship together as one set. And I'm sure I'll include this helmet with it too. But the spaceship should be pretty cool. I'm going to make one first to make sure I can do it, and then I'll buy parts to make another one. My goal is to take these Nerf guns and mount them on the side, and then make it so they can still shoot Nerf darts with her in it. Because, you know, Marlena crash landed on Earth, right? She's a human. So she needs to have her giant spaceship. And besides that, my story is that Hebrew got the Bible from her spaceship. That's why he got it, the Gideon Bible, because they stuck it in there. So without her spaceship, there's no Gideon Bible, and then there's no Hebrew. So, all right. So let me look at your guys' comments. Did I miss any? Ram Man must have been hard to give birth to. Well, it depends on how big his mother was. His mother might have been a pretty large woman as well. You never know. Dun dun dun. Captain Glenn. This was a cool figure, but I hate that it had her name half covered. And it's right there where it can scrape too easily and scrape off the decal if you're not careful. I still can't believe they didn't give us a cloth cape. If you guys know a good person to buy a good cloth cape from that actually looks like it's supposed to, give it to me on Facebook so I know who to get a hold of to buy one, because I want to find a good cloth cape for that. That'd be cool. Oh, maybe Ram Man just rammed himself out. That's rough. Ram Man can fly. People don't remember that. All right. Well, you guys, thank you for joining me. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. And if you like this video, just join our channel. We have all kinds of fun here all the time, talking about different crazy stuff and customs and different figures in the line and theories. So check us out. I think you'll like it. It's funny, just today I painted the ball on this thing blue. It's not super blue, but you can tell next to the green one, it's blue. Oh, it was bugging me that it was green, and it should be blue. See? It's not quite as shiny as I want. I didn't put a clear coat on it yet. But anyway, I just painted just literally minutes before the video. Oh, Mattel, please make her in Masterverse, so I can use her parts to make Classics version. Come on, Mattel, you can do it. A Masterverse version of this Sorceress would be awesome. Now, if you guys didn't know, this Sorceress is actually based on an Egyptian goddess. Let me see if I could find it. It's so crazy how close they actually copied her. I was really surprised. Let me show you what she looks like. Egyptian goddess. Bum, bum, bum. I forgot what her name was, though, so it's hard to find it. Oh, I think I know what her name was. I don't want to say it out loud, though, on the video, because it might block me. But I will show you guys the name on here. That is her name. But if I say it out loud, it might block me, because there are groups that use that name for other things. But if you take a look at her, it's crazy how much she looks like our Sorceress. Even the head thing has the circle and the red on it. So I'm just wondering if they just took the... You see, look, it's the same. It's so bizarre. It's even got the ruffles on the bottom, and it's just crazy how much she actually looks like her in design and style. That one definitely. Look at that. Womp, womp, womp. Crazy, crazy. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of crazy how similar. It was funny, first time I saw a statue of it, I thought somebody made it to be funny, to look like the Sorceress, but yet it really is supposed to be her, so it's kind of crazy. All right, I will stop looking at pictures of this. Look at that one. That looks crazy. All right, even the ruffles on the bottom. I think that's just crazy how it's the same design like that. You can see they all have the same ruffles on the bottom, just like she does. All right, I digress. And if you guys are new subscribers, you'll see I digress quite often. Black Phoenix 77. All right. Well, now that you guys have typed that so much on my feed, they might block me anyway. Thanks, you guys. Anyway, we'll see. Which is so crazy because, like you guys said, it's used for more than one thing, and it was used for that character before it was used by the group. So, and I used to watch the show as a kid too. I used to love watching that show. It was one of my favorites. I'd watch that and Shazam, Captain Marvel, the real Captain Marvel. All right. Oh, I gotta end this. So I'm gonna keep messing with the figures. Like and subscribe. Oh, I finished. He's drawing. So I have glued his bottom section that I was telling you guys about. You can see it there. Big old glob of super glue. And I'm not sure what the white spot is. I don't know if it was wet right there or what left over. But hopefully that glue now will keep that from cracking. I'll let it sit another day or two. And then hopefully after he sits for a day or two, it will be completely dry. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'll just let him lay. I can let him lay down now instead of standing on his head like he was for the past day. So yes, in fact, it's kind of funny. A lot of the figures are based on Greek mythology, the first batch. If you take a look at them, you can usually map them to Greek mythology creatures or Greek mythology things. And then the Horde is based on universal monsters. So it's kind of interesting. They just kind of pulled things from all kinds of different storylines and stuck them in here. When I was a kid, when I was learning Greek mythology, I actually used to use my He-Man figures to remember the names and the stories that went along with them, just because they had a lot of similarities. But we see that all the time. If you take a look at Star Wars, they've stole stuff from other mythologies too, and it's just, that's just what they do. They just take things from other mythologies all the time. I mean, can you really deny this is not supposed to be Hercules? I mean, come on. Of course it's Hercules. So there you go. And then, of course, his mother was from Earth, and his father was on the same planet with all the giant muscle-bound guys. And that is the story of Hercules right there. An Earth woman and Zeus got together to make Hercules. So, yep. Yes, classics had problems with loincloths cracking, especially the first ones that came out. Yep, the exploding crotch, and especially if there was a clear crotch, like we saw with the green Tila. I don't think we should sell anything just because there's a new line out there. He had a selling Moto Classics title. Well, Todd, how are your figures how are your figures busting Masterverse? I'm not sure. Jedi Master Bender and Rao Craze. All right. Pop actor, wow. You sound like Roger Dangerfield. Take my wife, please. All right, you guys. Thanks for watching. I will put Hercules. See, and in case you're wondering who he is Dracula. I want to suck your blood. So he is the. I mean, they're all universal monsters from the Horde. It's just ridiculous. It's kind of funny how you can see it when you think about it. I mean, they even made a mummy eventually. All right, like, subscribe. See you guys next video. Maybe another one tonight, maybe not. And until then, good journey. Me and Master of the Universe has had a longer relationship. Oh, for now on Pop Actor, we're going to call you Al. Moss Man is Bigfoot. He definitely is. All right, you guys, like, subscribe, and good journey. You guys are just typing like crazy. Let me see what else you guys got there. Figure busting Masterverse is impossible? Okay. So you're saying that it's hard to break a Masterverse figure. See, now I shouldn't have sold all those, because I'd like to take your challenge and snap one in half, just to see how easy they break. Let me take a look, so I got any more extra He-Man in the box here. Okay. Oh, nope, I sold all my extras. I was going to try to snap one in half just to see how easy it was. But the ones I have left I want to keep. Like this is such a cool figure. Even though it's Masterverse, it's cool. Even though I wasn't a fan of hers, with the new head, she's still pretty cool. So I'm keeping her. Of course, you got to keep Trap Jaw. So no figure breaking for me today. What is that? Is that a leg down there? It is. All right, for real. Good journey, you guys. Yes, they are expensive now. I was wanting to bust Tila with She-Ra is a fantasy. Wow. Yeah, I sold my Scareglow, man. Sorry. I was not happy because he didn't glow, except for his head. So I'm like, you know what? I don't need the Masterverse Scareglow. I have the Origin Scareglow. I have the Giant Scareglow. I have the Classic Scareglow. I'm good. So I actually sold my Scareglow. Yes, knowing about it way back in the day helped a lot. Yep. All right. Good journey, you guys. Bye now.